in the sky over Tingledom lay stars and galaxies which form into constellations which have extreme cultural importance to the citizens of Tingledom. And one of the best ways to learn these constellations is through a beautiful star map. Tingles with flyby. Daily ASMR videos. Hello, my tinglings, and welcome to this month's Viewers Appreciation video. Very excited for this. It's always the best time of the month. I always get to review all my comments from the month and see all the lovely things that you guys have had to say. So, if you are new to my channel, every month on the 25th of each month I do a Viewers Appreciation video, which will feature a randomly selected assortment number of tinglings just by commenting anytime during the month on any of my videos. Give yourself a chance to be featured. And there are some people who have been featured quite a number of times. So keep commenting and your time will definitely come. So the only other way to increase your chances is by becoming one of my patrons. If you are at a particular level, then you can double your chances. So otherwise, it's just comment once throughout the month and you have your chance to be featured. So this is going to be a role play. I like role plays, so that's what we're going to do, but I always like to give that little intro. So now I will pass it over to your hostess for today. Hello. Welcome to our star map making session. The uniqueness of the way it works here in Tingledom is because the sky is so clear, you can get an uninhibited view of so much of the sky. So we actually have it broken down into a vast number of maps, and within these maps we have our own constellations. Oh yes, and we'll be able to show you some of the more famous ones that happen in this particular quadrant of sky. This is one that is not often seen in other parts of the world, and so none of these constellations are known anywhere else. So I always find the best way to teach you about these constellations is to show you the sky map and then show how we see those lines come together. So that's what I'll be doing with you today. Okay? Now, this map does have quite a number of stars. And this is the place that you can see at this time of year you can usually see this quadrant. If you look, the easiest way to kind of spot this quadrant is if it's a really, if the moon isn't out, you can see these kind of lighter patches in the back. These are clusters of lots of stars. So if you can see these kind of two lighter clusters together, then that indicates you're looking in the right direction. You can also see these lighter clusters here. And these can help you orient yourself. But, so that's just how to make sure you're looking at the right area. But if you look out, where are you staying again? So if you go down to street level and then look out over the eastern horizon, around 2 or 3 a.m. is when this will be over the eastern horizon. So it'll be more overhead around 11 or 12 at night, but it's a little bit harder to orient yourself because there's so many stars up above. But if you look around 2 or 3, it'll be right over the eastern horizon. A little bit easier to pick them out. Yeah. So, let's just go ahead. What I like to do is get our paint together. You can see I've used this one before. Just make sure this is mixed up. Yeah. Seems fairly mixed. Okay. I'm just going to be using this fine tipped paintbrush, which will be easier to see once you see the paint on it. You can see this little tip. It has a really nice little tip. So the first one I want to show you, it's one of my favorite constellations, and it is right over here. You can see these stars here. They almost form a line, and then these ones here form a line as well, almost like a little triangle. Just go through those, and then back through there. These then go across. And it's just a little A constellation. You can see that? So it has these major stars. Just always re-highlight the stars because sometimes you can't see them as well. So that is A. And that is for ASMR. I know how that happened, that happened, right above the sky over Tingledom. Pretty special. Now, the next one that I wanted to show you is for Damien. And this one you can see, kind of see a little, it's almost a stick figure. Can you see these major stars kind of coming together? And then we have a bow up at the top. See how these connect. So it's a little debated on the rest of the stars that are actually in this constellation. But it's designed to be, well, basically the way it's interpreted is two different ways. So you can see these are legs down here, and then the body. And there's two different myths that go around for this one from the Damien ASMR legends. One has it that it's representative of a man who holding a bow, so that this is kind of a bow and arrow and it's ready to, shoot off. But that the arrow is really kind of a shoot of tingles. The other interpretation is it also almost looks like a hug, these are legs and the arms are out. Almost that kind of Jesus-like hugging. So that it's the embrace. So that's another interpretation of that one. But you've got some nice stars in this one. This one is a huge red giant. That one's been recently cited by normal scientists. There's actually a thought, and these are galaxies, these ones here. Very distant galaxies, but they make up. So I like, if you kind of interpret it in the hugging way, then it's almost like their two hands are galaxies of tingles and galaxies of care and love. So this is actually a galaxy, but it just kind of shows up as a little, well, just a blotch of light in the sky. But if you look through your telescope, well, you'd have to go to the observatory, not with a regular telescope, but you can see from the ground, not just up in space. You can actually see, if you go out to the magical cabins as well, where they have the enhanced vision, then you can see that galaxy. So the Damien ASMR constellation, and on the left hand, because you view it as if it says here and that he's facing you. He's facing the world, kind of giving the world ASMR. I think it's pretty fun. Now, the next one is actually just over here. You can see it right through here. It's a little crown. Yeah. It's actually a tiara, and this one isn't for Queen Flyby, even though she does wear a tiara. This is a jade tiara, or also tiara, but you can see she's got a cups across here. I'm not really getting this bottom line well, but that's what your imagination's for. So you've got this major galaxy again, and then some of our major stars. But that's, so we have this one here. Lighten up that star as well. And this one. One of these is due about 1,000 years to be a supernova for us. So that'll be pretty. I can't tell you how I know that. So that's one of the other lovely constellations in this area. Now, one of my favorites here is actually quite large. It's over here. And you can see it's almost like a tipping bucket. So it just starts with that one there. You can see it actually follows the line of this lighter universe area. And it then tips down through here too. So we do use a couple stars as the kind of border for it. But it's just a little, almost pouring, and it's designed to look like it's pouring out. And it's intentional. Well, part of the interpretation is that it's next to the Damien one, because because it's named for a waterman who, someone who visited Tingledom shortly after it was discovered by Queen Flyby. And Waterman is the person who helped discover some of the underground stores of fresh water, because there was issues with whether it might survive. He didn't end up staying. Really not. Hopefully you can see this without my horrendous lines. It's because I never want to cover up too many stars, but you want to be able to see a brief idea of, maybe I should have a little water. There we go, now we're flowing a little better. I always view it as this kind of curving out at the bottom. Because it picks up that star there. Yeah, so you can see it's kind of like a little jug, and it's pouring water. So important to us here, because obviously water is important to most people, but the finding of water was very significant for the survival of Tingledom. Yeah, so Waterman, pouring water next to Damien, very, very important. Yeah. Now, in here, you'll also see these along here. Can you see this line? So there we have a connection. The little triangle, this one isn't. Just need a little smoothing. This one's actually named for a guest to Tingledom. Was Malik. And wow, lots of things are relaxing in Tingledom. Obviously, that's the point of many things. But we actually had an archery tournament, which was not relaxing it was a lot of fun, especially for us who don't usually get too rambunctious. But anyway, so Malik came along. He won the whole tournament. The rest of us were horrendous at it. So all of the guests were much better than us here. But, well, I mean, because we didn't have any professional hunters. We do have some out who do for, sustainable land practices and that sort of thing here on the land. But obviously we weren't going to have a competition with our professional bow hunters in there. But so Malik came in and he won. And so it's called Malik Has Hit is the name of that constellation. Reminds me of a very good time. Yeah. Now that one's much more recent. Yeah. One of our more historical ones is this one up here. It's named for, you can see just how we have this kind of semicircle. It actually represents a meeting that was held back in the 1700s with some monks from a Spanish monastery, and the leader of that was Don Julio, and he was someone who we brought to Tingledom at the time because he needed some of the rest and relaxation. We weren't able to quite offer it as much as we are now. Just we hadn't developed our resources as much to be able to kind of give in that way. And so after that, he really wanted to find a way to kind of give back. So this, to us, represents that period of time of giving and receiving from, the important people. So Don Julio, very respected, and we always honor him in the sky for that. It was very important for us in getting to where we are today, and also being able to obviously stay relatively secret, because he could have told a lot of people about us, but he chose not to, and we are very grateful for that. And the last one that I wanted to show you is a little bit more over this way. It's up towards the corner of this map. And I just need to, I always forget which start. I know it takes off from here, but I always forget what direction it goes. And there's so many stars, it could be hard. It's a very obvious pattern though. It's this curve. There we go. Now I see it. Can you see this? You have here to here to here to here. Excuse me. See that little curve? Is named DGST for Do Good Serpents Die. Oh, no, nothing to do with Adam and Eve or anything like that. No, it has to do with in the mystical forest. There's quite an intelligent serpent there. It's not vocal or anything like that, more equivalent to, I'd say, like a but this one, you can see that huge, takes on this whole galaxy. There, which it connects to. And that one's even, I mean, you can see the light from it, but you can't make out any of the detail for that one. Even with enhanced vision here. I mean, it's only so much magic can do, can it? But yeah, so there are the serpents, and they're very, very intelligent creatures. And when they were first discovered here in Tingledom, they didn't seem to bite, which, you know, and they seem to have a really, really long lifespan. Never really seemed to see them die, so that was why it was Do Good Serpents Die, DGSD is the name of the constellation. Well, they do die, but it looks like their lifespan is probably about 200 or 300 years, so quite miraculous. They're very amazing, amazing creatures, very, very intelligent as well. And so they're actually quite bonded with the people we have in the mystical forest. So it's very, very special. So it is one of my favorites. It's because you could see a curve. You know, you can kind of see a curve going off that way or that way. It's always hard for me to make it out. I know it starts with the galaxy, but yeah. So there are more, but I don't like to overwhelm you too much with too many at first. I think it's good to really focus on the ones. So these are the ones I would recommend starting to have a look out for. The DGSD, the A for ASMR, the Jade Tiara, the Damien, the Waterman, the Malicus Hit, and Don Julio. Very, very special, and if you just keep an eye out. Again, if you look for the lighter patches here, those are going to be the ones that help you out to get you oriented, to make sure you're looking for the right space. And then your large, you can see this kind of arrangement, the larger arrangement of galaxies, because it is actually quite a few galaxies all in the one spot. You have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you kind of look how those are oriented to each other. Yeah. So I'll let you take this map with you so that you can use it to help you orient. And again, just orient against these lighter areas. I think that's going to be the best way. If you see, you know, up here, it's much, much lighter. Yeah, and then just go through here. You want to make sure you can see this one. The DGSD. Very special. They're all very special, but that is those. So go ahead, take this with you. Again, the easiest time, if you go out around 2 or 3 at night, pop out, look for the eastern horizon just above the hills. You'll begin to see Don Julio. Well, it'll be Malik starting to kind of disappear behind the hills, so you'll be looking at it kind of like this. So these ones will start to go under the horizon. It goes like this. And then Don Julio will be the last one to disappear. Okay. And if you do need a guide, we do have star guides as well who can help you, but I know some people prefer in the middle of the night to just go out on their own and have a look, so that's what the map is for. Okay. Well, if you have any problems looking for them, come see me, or I can book you a star guide as well. Okay? Oh, it's been my pleasure. Well, I hope I will see you